gCADPlus lets you set up several different dimension styles. This design here is a section through a platform with some substantial wooden uprights and a screen at the back and so on. There are some bearers running through here. Notice that the bearers on the right are of a different dimension to the bearers on the left, and I've used a dimension style I haven't, but the designer of this platform has used a dimension style to set information about posts and gaps and total height and so on. And that's been done over here. So if we click on this dimension, I could trick it and prove it by centering that 800. The 800 comes directly from the model, and the distance from one endpoint to another, as does the 400 down here. Let's just tidy that up and let's zoom in here. We pick that. There's a line underneath here that you may be able to see. So let's go Tools and Draw Order and send to the back. Now we can pick up that line through there. So that line, if you come over here into the properties box, is 400 millimeters long, 400 units. And you can see here's the dimension. The dimension's been taken from that line. If, however, we move over here to this 2400 dimension, can you see that the designer's done an override? The measurement itself is 2392 and an override at 2400. I'm not in favour of overrides like that. I'd rather be taking the dimension from a line that's 2400 in the actual design. But I digress. These dimensions here are the same as the dimensions that we're using here. What I've done there is just copy these uprights across here, and I can apply the same dimension style. If I select that one there, you can see it's a style called 5 sensors. So I've set up a particular dimension style. Let's look at it. Dimension styles, 5 sensors. You can see the geometry and the text style and the units have all been set up appropriate for what I want to do in that particular area. However, when it comes to detailing the bearers, I need a much smaller dimension style. Let's go dimensions, dimension style, and let's set a new style that I've called 5 sensors type. The design here is called 5 sensors design. So we'll set that as current and OK it. Now let's take our linear dimension tool and we'll dimension from one endpoint to the other. Can you see I'm taking the dimensions from the side? That's 141. And if we use an aligned dimension now, come from that point there to that point there and then pull off, there's an aligned dimension. And so our dimensioning is taking place nicely. When we go into layout space, there's our dimension of the rail detail. Can you see that although there's a slight difference in height of text between that and that, I could adjust the style, which I've called sensors, 5 sensors tight. I could adjust it further to perhaps reduce the text height. Can you see a different text style, a different dimension style being applied to the window? If we wanted to pick up that one that we've just done, we could just select that floating viewport, hold my shift key down, deselect that, double click in here, and we could expand our box and then display that in the layout and deactivate that viewport. So there's the one we just did, there's the previous one. So we now have dimensioning showing for the heavier bearers and the lighter bearers in that area. So I hope that shows you that you can use floating viewports, you can have different dimensioning styles, set up appropriate dimensioning styles for what you are trying to achieve.